What's up guys? Today for another insane budget photography videography, we're going to take a look at comparing what I think is like a super budget filmmaker's camera, the 5D Mark II with Magic Lantern. Now with the 5D Mark II and Magic Lantern, you have the option of RAW video, which this has got to be one of the cheapest ways to get RAW video that's pretty close to full frame, pretty close to full HD. It's pretty dang close. The OSM1 is even cheaper. If you can get your hands on one of those. So the 5D Mark II with Magic Lantern gives you a lot more video capabilities, but how does it compare to the GH5, which is quite a bit more money, but probably a lot more user-friendly, a lot more modern, and has the wonderful addition of a flip-out screen for full articulating action. So this loser over here has been recorded on just a regular 5D, no RAW, no nothing, just regular. We'll check him out. And then now this guy over here, he's been recorded on the GH5, and we'll check him out and see how he compares. The GH5. What's up guys? That loser is on a 12-year-old digital SLR that barely has any video functions, and I'm on a modern GH5. I'm shooting in Vlog, 24 frames a second, 100-bit, 422 color, 100 bits per second, 10-bit 422 color. I'm using an app which is pretty awesome because like I can sit here in front of my camera, tap something on my screen, I can change settings, I can pause and stop recording. I've got a lot of control. I don't have to get up and go to the camera. That loser over there, he has to have his wife come in and set focus points for him, set focus for him. Well, I can just do that here with my app. So there's a lot of advantages to a modern camera like a GH5. And really, the GH5 has got to be, if you're looking for a budget filmmaker's camera, I mean, it's it. I mean, where else are you going to get all the functionalities for like a GH5 right now? I think is around 800 bucks. There's a lot of advantages to not being full frame too. You know, for example, I've got a speed booster on here, so I've got probably just as good, if not better, depth of field than the shallow depth of field than the full frame 5D Mark II, and I can get more light, so I'm shooting at a lower f-stop to get that same depth of field. And I might have had to get just a little closer to the camera because while I'm shooting with the same 50mm lens, it's not exactly it's not a 1x crop factor. I can't remember what the crop factor is, like 1.1 or something like that. So besides just having like modern features like an app, besides having usable autofocus, what else does a camera like the GH5 offer you? Well, of course, it's got 4K, it's got slow motion, but then it's got a lot of really useful features like a flip-out screen. I mean, that's like the number one reason why the 5D Mark II just really didn't work out for me is the fact that I do a lot of recording of myself, and if you don't have a monitor set up or something, it's very difficult to actually compose and see what you're doing if you can't see yourself. So having something either with wireless control or a flip-out screen, or like the GH5 that has both, then you can have a lot more, a lot easier time shooting yourself. If you're primarily doing YouTube videos, if you're primarily shooting yourself, vlogging style, then the 5D Mark II is just a terrible camera. And it's great for artistic reasons. It's great if you were like, say, shooting narrative stuff, if you're shooting music videos. It's great if you were shooting talking heads and you're not the talking head and you can stay behind the camera, then it's great. If you like doing manual focus, it's great. And if you don't care to go through some extra rigmarole like installing Magic Lantern so you can really use the camera, you can get RAW and you can have you can actually go way past standard HD if you don't mind using some crop modes. But besides that, with Magic Lantern, you get zebras, you get focus points. So it opens up a lot on the camera that it wasn't made to do. The GH5, though, you don't have to install like a hacked firmware on it to do all that stuff. And it's way, way more reliable. It's got 2 card slots if that's important to you. And it's got things like just like audio metering on the screen. You know, that's a really useful thing. You wouldn't believe how many times I've like forgot to turn my mic on, and audio metering on the screen would really help you. It's got a lot of functionality that's like video centric, and so like if you're looking for a great camera to kind of push yourself to the next level over, say, like a T4 something, T5 something, T6, T7 something, or like an M50, the GH5 is probably your next step before going to like something like a full frame camera of some kind of more actual cinema camera. And I think that most people would find it quite a bit more usable than something like a Blackmagic, which is going to kind of be a big headache and maybe not give you that much more impressive quality. So final thoughts on the 5D with RAW. It opens up a lot of possibilities. It looks pretty awesome. You get a lot more dynamic range. You can push colors around. It makes the video just look a lot more professional and interesting. But it's a big pain in the butt to use, and it's kind of just annoying. So I would highly recommend it if you have a pretty small budget. You want to spend $400 or $500. You got some EF lenses already, and you want to play around with RAW. But if you're primarily shooting yourself, it's just too many drawbacks to be really usable. Something like the GH5, if you can afford it, is going to be a way more versatile camera for vlogging, for shooting yourself, and then all the other kinds of video production and photography you might do. See you later.